In this video, we're bringing another original idea and showing you how we've made hanging decorations in woods. So as we always do, we start the process off by marking our designs onto the wood itself. The wood that I'm using, we're using some juniper, and the designs that you can see, we're using a heart shape, some flowers and butterflies, and also a little love spoon. Always like to try and get a love spoon in there if at all possible. We're using a piece of mahogany to mark out the backing that will be the backing for a thermometer. And the final one, we got a silhouetted candle inside a cross that will become the center of a hanging candle holder. So focusing on the processes that we're going through. We're starting off on the pillar drill, and I'm cutting out the inserts that will be used for the recesses to put our candles into, our little tea light candle. Now I'm demonstrating this one in the process that we would actually go about it. So we then go onto our love spoon and cut the internal holes ready for doing the pierce work on, and also our heart, the internal cuts, getting that preparation done. We then go on to cutting out the bowl for our love spoon. Next part of the process is focusing on the pierce work. And this is to give you an idea of the processes that we go through, the order in which we do things. So when we demonstrate our videos, sometimes we show you the order that we do things in, other times we organize them in individual projects. So you can see we've cut out the profiles for our candle holders. So we've got the base, and then the vertical piece that has the silhouetted candle in the cross. We also then cut a profile for our thermometer background. So that is done again on the scroll saw. We then have a little decoration, and this one has proved very popular. This is our butterflies and flowers together. So we start this project by doing the pierce work, doing all of those internal cuts. And then we go on to using our scroll saw to cut out a basic outline. This one, again, we've got that beautiful contrast between the heartwood and the sapwood. That's why we enjoy working in woods like juniper, yew, and laburnum. Technique that you'll see me using, I do all of the cutting in the one direction. I then go back over it in the opposite direction, allowing us to get really fine, accurate scroll saw cuts. We then go on to our heart. This will be a hanging heart that afterwards could be personalized with names or initials. We do the internal work, the pierce work first of all, and then cut the outline, that profile of our heart. The final project then that we're working on our scroll saw is the little love spoon. So I was thinking of different ideas that would be nice as like hanging decorations, and I thought a love spoon. Not everybody's going to want to hang a love spoon on the wall or put it on a shelf. So I thought if we create it as a hanging decoration, something original, something different again, that might solve a problem and be of interest to somebody else. So we finish cutting out that basic outline as well as doing the pierce work, and then move on to the hand carving process. Now in terms of organization, what I tend to do is to go on to the project that is most time consuming or that might be most technically difficult. So in these examples, the butterflies and flowers, they're the ones that are going to take us the most time to carve, and in some ways they're the ones that have got slightly more difficulty involved. So again, we do all of our hand carving in the one direction due to the fact that I sit to carve. If you stand to carve, it's not a problem. You can just move around the other side. You're doing all of those stop cuts down into the woods. You then use the stop cuts as a barrier, and it just adds an extra element. So if you're a scroll sawer and you're looking to add something extra to your projects, just learning a few simple wood carving skills can give you an extra dimension to what you do. We then use different shape gouges to just add dots and a little bit of shape to the butterfly itself. Now we've finished on our butterfly project, we go across to our love spoon. So again, it's that simple process. Do all of your stop cuts into the juniper. You'll notice that I've tried to mark out this design where we pretty much have a 50-50 of the heartwood and the sapwoods. So we have the white colour, that lighter colour on the one side of the spoon, and the darker colour, the heartwood, on the other side of the spoon. We then use those stop cuts to cut down into the woods, adding extra detail, shaping the stem of the love spoon and in and around our entwined hearts. We sand the design just to smooth it off and to give it a nice finish, nice to the touch. So we're just finishing it off with a little bit of hand sanding as we go. Using those stop cuts just above the heart just to shape everything. Same process that you will have seen us using on numerous occasions on our love spoons. Remember again, if you've got any questions about the hand carving, feel free to ask us and we will do our best to help. The heart shape then, we've got just the stop cuts above the heart, cutting down into the wood, then using those stop cuts to the barrier. We then bevel the edges just to round everything off and to smooth everything just a little bit. Our cross design with our silhouetted candle, we're going to carve it on both sides, something that I don't normally do, but the reason for this, we're going to have a tea light on the one side of the candle and then a tea light on the other side of the candle. So that's why we're finishing both sides of the design. We've got two sides as opposed to a front and back. We also put a little flower on top of our thermometer holder just to add a little bit more character and detail to the design. Back onto the bandsaw with our love spoon, and that's just to shape the back of the bowl. So we take away some of the wood using the bandsaw and then go onto our belt sander to shape the back of our love spoon and to smooth everything off in preparation for the hand finishing. It's the same then with all of the other designs. We just sand everything down on the belt sander just to take out any roughness, to take out any sharp edges as well, and to prepare it for the hand finishing. As you can see, we go on to doing some hand sanding, just taking off any sharp edges and to provide a finer finish. What we're doing here, we're actually super gluing our candle to our candle base using our Starbond super glue and the accelerant that they provide with it. If you're using that accelerant, it does go off really quickly, so you have to be really accurate in how you place things to glue. We then add 3 coats of shellac sanding sealer, rubbing it down in between each coat. Final part of the process is to add a finishing layer of beeswax mixed with linseed oil. Now to turn these into hanging decorations, what we're doing, we're using a spike to use as a guide hole, then drilling a hole in the top of our different wooden items, and we have metal eyes with a black lacquer on the top that we screw into those holes that will be used to hang them as decoration. We've also got to put our thermometer face on the back, so just a few spike holes and 2 little pins to allow us to fix that thermometer onto. There you go, that's how we make different hanging decorations. Something different, something original that you might want to consider making to add to your range of products. Let us know in the comment section which one of those is your favourite and which one do you plan on having a go at making yourself. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell so you know when we upload another video. As we always say, thank you again for watching.